Have you considered starting your own business and wondered if you'd be successful? That's exactly what we're talking about in this video. Stay tuned to learn a 3-card spread to help determine if you'll succeed with your entrepreneurial venture. Hi everybody, I'm Sue Ellen Clayton. Welcome to my channel where we're learning how to read tarot 1 card at a time. In today's video, we'll be using a 3-card spread to answer the question, should I quit my job and start a business? I will be using the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, and there is a link below. This video is based on a reading I did for a 32-year-old woman who I will call Kayla. Kayla came to me with the question, should I quit my job and start a Reiki business? If you're not familiar with Reiki, it is a form of energy healing where the practitioner channels energy through their hands and into the client's body. The goal is to help the client relax and promote healing. Kayla currently works in a big box retail store. Her opinion of her job ranges from dislike on a good day to intolerable on a bad day. A friend recommended Reiki treatments to help Kayla deal with her job stress. Not only did Kayla find the treatments helpful, she also felt like she'd found her calling. She studied with a Reiki master and completed the 3 levels of training. Kayla is very excited to quit her job and embark on a new journey as a Reiki healer. Her question is, should I quit my job and start a Reiki business? To answer her question, I used a 3-card pro-con advice spread. In position number 1, pros, Kayla drew the Ace of Cups reversed. In position number 2, cons, Kayla drew the Fool, and in position number 3, advice, Kayla drew the Page of Swords. Answering a yes-no question in tarot is pretty easy in a 3-card spread. You look at the cards and count the reversals, which represent no, and the upright cards, which represent yes. So we have 1 reversal and 2 upright cards. The majority wins, so the answer is yes, Kayla should quit her job and start a Reiki business. In this case, it's that simple. However, it can be more complex if the upright card has a negative meaning or the reverse card has a more positive meaning. Fortunately, that's not the case with the cards in this reading. We could stop now in this reading since we've answered Kayla's question. However, I wanted to use the cards to give Kayla advice about how to make her business more successful. Let's talk about my first impressions. I was drawn to the figures in the Fool and the Page of Swords. Both are young people who are standing up high and facing toward the past. They are both in unstable positions with 1 foot flat and the other foot on its toes. In both cases, their hands are holding onto objects. I think this represents that Kayla is a bit naive and also focused more on the past, which is how much she hates her job, than planning for her future business. Her hands are full, so she knows what she wants to do. But these actions are more based on what she's gleaned from her retail job than forward-thinking actions that will move her toward a successful business. She's not standing in a stable position, so her views are completely grounded. All 3 cards are in daylight. They also all have water at the bottom, which generally means emotions. It's interesting that we are missing the Suit of Pentacles, which traditionally refers to work, business, and money. Now let's look at each card individually. Position number 1 represents the benefits of Kayla starting a Reiki practice. Kayla drew the Ace of Cups reversed. It would have been awesome to see the Ace of Cups in the upright position. Aces are about new beginnings, and this would have represented a wonderful start to Kayla's Reiki business. It would have signified that Kayla is opening her heart and experiencing a new beginning in her life, specifically in a business that was emotionally fulfilling, involved positive relationships, and used her intuition. Reiki is about using your hands to channel energy, and we see a hand with droplets of water that could represent a Reiki treatment. The 5 streams of water signify the 4 elements, water, fire, earth, and air, that are represented by cups, wands, pentacles, and swords. The 5th stream of water represents spirit. This indicates that Kayla would bring a full range of tools to her client's healing journey. The dove on the top of the chalice represents peace. Again, in the upright position, the ace would represent the beginning of something that would bring Kayla, and likely her clients, a great deal of peace. However, we are dealing with the Ace of Cups in the reverse position. One of the challenges of using a spread is a situation like this one. Benefits are positive, yet in the reverse position, the Ace of Cups seems really negative. The reversed Ace of Cups can mean that Kayla is too emotional, not dealing with her emotions, or feeling creatively stuck. It can represent Kayla's fear of starting her business or her lack of relationship with spirit. Finally, it can mean that Kayla is not listening to her intuition or does not trust her intuition. So how are these benefits? I've had my own business for more than 30 years, and I know firsthand that owning a business can be a vehicle for personal growth, and I think this is the case for Kayla. We all have stuff in our lives that we need to work on, and starting a Reiki business will give Kayla the opportunity to face some of her issues, ideally before she quits her current job. Let's talk about these individually. The first thing Kayla will have to deal with is around the area of her emotions. Kayla works retail in a big box store, so her job doesn't involve a deep connection with customers. This is the opposite of what she will experience doing Reiki, where she'll have a one-on-one relationship with people who need some kind of physical, emotional, or spiritual healing. I have a close friend who's a massage therapist, and she does Reiki-style energy work as part of her practice. Her clients have experienced all kinds of trauma that they will share during their massage. People drawn to healing tend to be very empathic, and it is a learned skill to be able to acknowledge people's pain and keep some level of emotional distance. Kayla will need to learn how to ground herself, how to create healthy boundaries with her clients, and how to deal with her emotions that arise from sessions in a healthy manner. The next issue Kayla must deal with are her fears around starting a Reiki business. As we look ahead to the next two cards, we see the childlike, impulsive side of Kayla that just wants to jump into her Reiki business without any preparation. The reversed Ace of Cups is a message that Kayla needs to do some serious planning so that she anticipates what's going to happen with her business and has a plan. This will require Kayla to face her fears. For instance, Kayla may believe that she's not good with money, yet will need to create a budget, figure out how to keep financial records, and find a bookkeeper or accountant. It would be ideal for Kayla to do this while she was still employed. Thankfully, her retail hours are quite flexible and give her the ability to meet with advisors during the traditional 9-to-5 working hours. Kayla may also need to address other fears, such as fears around failure, fears about not being a good enough Reiki practitioner, which we often call imposter syndrome, fears around trying to keep some kind of work-life balance, or fears about being too successful and not being able to handle all the clients. Although overcoming these fears requires work, and I can say as a business owner that they are ongoing issues for most of us, it is a good thing for Kayla to be addressing the issues. Kayla might want to seek professional advice. She could talk to Reiki practitioners and ask how they overcame their fears. She could also start working with a therapist, coach, or business advisor to help get a handle on her fears. The final issues that Kayla needs to consider are her relationship with herself regarding her intuition and her relationship with spirit. In my opinion, these are linked and essential to being a good Reiki practitioner. It would be beneficial for Kayla to figure out a structure to protect her spiritual and intuitive connections before she starts her business. This might be starting a practice of journaling, learning to meditate, making time each morning to go for a walk outdoors and experience nature, or finding a group of like-minded people. Her plan might also include spacing out her clients so that she has time to reset between appointments, or making sure that she eats healthy food, gets enough sleep, and takes a couple of days off each week. As a side note, burnout is a real concern for people who are healers. I just did a video about burnout in tarot and 17 ways to get your tarot mojo back, which I will link to in the description. In summary, the benefits of Kayla starting a Reiki practice is that it gives her an opportunity to grow personally and professionally. Position number 2 looks at the obstacles, risks, and challenges involved with Kayla starting a Reiki practice, and Kayla drew the Fool. My immediate impression was that starting a Reiki business at this time would be a foolish choice. However, we did the yes-no exercise at the beginning of the reading, so I know that Kayla will be moving forward. I reminded myself that my goal is to provide Kayla with advice to make her Reiki business successful. The Fool is about being naive, inexperienced, and impulsive. He's not exactly a planner, as you can see by the fact that he's standing on a mountaintop wearing only summer clothing with just a tiny satchel that I assume does not contain a winter coat. He's ready to walk off the cliff despite the warnings of his canine companion. He's focused on the sunny day and nothing else. I think that Kayla is so unhappy in her current job that she just wants to move on, which is completely understandable. She has an optimistic, naive view of what owning her own business will be like. She has been so focused on the big positive of starting a Reiki business, which is that she can quit her job, that she hasn't done any planning. Basically, Kayla's view of running a business is a complete fantasy at this point. In tarot, mountains often represent challenges, and we can see a lot of mountains in this card. Yet Kayla is not looking at any of them, including the ones a few steps from her feet. She's just naively hoping that things will work out in her favor, and she hasn't even considered what the challenges will be. The downside of starting the business is that Kayla has not thought things through at all. She's a talented Reiki practitioner, but that is a small part of running a business. There's also finding a location and signing a lease, getting a local business license, finding a booking system, setting up a website, deciding on pricing, doing marketing, purchasing supplies, handling the finances, getting health and liability insurance, figuring out a system for washing sheets and keeping her space hygienic, and probably a whole lot more. Up to this point, Kayla has worked for an internationally known retailer. Basically, all she's had to do is show up and do her job. Everything else was taken care of. In summary, the downside of starting her business is that Kayla hasn't done enough planning. You've made it this far in the video, and I wanted to stop and ask for a favor if you're not already a subscriber, and that is to please hit the subscribe button. It's free for you, and it will also help me grow this channel. Plus, it means that you won't miss anything. Thanks so much, and if you're already a subscriber, I truly appreciate your ongoing support. Now let's get back to the video. Position number 3 provides advice on whether Kayla should move forward with starting her Reiki practice. Kayla drew the Page of Swords. Pages are the student of the deck, and they love to learn. This means that Kayla has the ability to do research about her business. The first piece of advice is that Kayla needs to stop dreaming and start work on that research. Kayla needs to create a business plan so that she will have a roadmap about how she can succeed. Swords represent thoughts and ideas. Kayla has a sharp mind with the ability to be creative and think strategically. One of Kayla's big challenges is that these are the skills she's never had to develop. Thankfully, she has the ability to learn them. In addition to having a lot of great ideas, the Page of Swords has excellent communication skills. This is wonderful for Kayla. I don't think most people know what a Reiki practitioner is or what Reiki can do for them. I can see Kayla at a networking event doing a great job explaining what she does and how her new business can help people. The sword extends outside the frame of the card. Since the sword represents the mind, this means that, although Kayla might believe that she knows everything, there are things that occur that are beyond her understanding. The advice here is that Kayla needs to remind herself to adopt a beginner's mind in her business rather than feeling like she's a know-it-all. Kayla's head is literally in the clouds. She is daydreaming instead of paying attention to what's going on. She's also looking backwards instead of ahead. Kayla needs to pay attention to reality and try to anticipate problems in her business instead of only solving things after they occur and are brought to her attention. We see blue mountains in the background. Blue represents spirituality, which I believe is what drew Kayla to Reiki. Another piece of advice is that Kayla needs to figure out a way to connect with spirit on a regular basis, as well as connect with her intuition. There are several indications that Kayla will face obstacles. Mountains are about obstacles, and we can see a mountain range in the distance. Blue skies are about clarity, and clouds are about hidden challenges. So things appear clear to Kayla now. However, the storm clouds that are gathering indicate that Kayla will face some unknown challenges in the future. The final piece of advice is that Kayla must make an effort to respond to things in a thoughtful and mature manner. Because pages are children, they are prone to being impulsive and immature, much like the Fool in the previous card, and this is not a good way to run a business. Overall, we can see that Kayla is young, energetic, eager to learn, and full of good ideas. She also has the ability to learn and to create a path of success. She has to look out for issues that can stem from being immature, impulsive, and inattentive. So let's do a quick summary about advice that will help Kayla succeed in her new business. First of all, we use the yes-no technique and determined that Kayla should move forward with her Reiki business. Position number 1 represents the benefits of Kayla starting a Reiki practice, which is the ability for her to grow personally and professionally. Position number 2 looks at challenges involved with Kayla starting a Reiki practice. The challenges are based on the fact that Kayla has not done any planning and naively expects that things will just work out. Fortunately, this can be remedied by doing research, which we know from the Page of Swords is something that Kayla is more than capable of. Position number 3 provides advice on whether Kayla should move forward with her Reiki practice. Kayla has a lot of positives in terms of her youth, energy, eagerness to learn, and ability to communicate. She also has the ability to learn and create a path of success. It's important that she look out for issues stemming from being immature, impulsive, and inattentive. I thought this was a really interesting reading, and I wish Kayla well with her new business. I hope that this video gave you some ideas that you can apply to your tarot practice. Please leave a comment if you'd like to share what you learned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.